Be careful of the short sword in case it comes back.
I have defeated it thoroughly. Shakes fist at the short sword in the water.
So what will you do with these captured? Well, the captured order.
Good question. I don't know what we should do with them.
Oh, I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it's not good to keep repeatedly hit them on the head when they wake up. So I suppose we should make a decision. We should either just, release them, shoot them away, say if they come back, that's it, we'll kill them, or we could just, do that now.
Rather them fight me than just stab them. I think that's a bit unfair. We should let them go to the town and just spread stories of goodwill or something. Give them a couple of gold each and send on their way.
One of the priests, Proteus is his name. He says, "These people are loyal to the Order of Sidon. They will go back once you release them."
Do you personally think we should just, finish them off then?
I am not one to advocate for violence. No, I do not think you should kill them, but you are the chosen ones. Perhaps your decisions will have a greater effect on this world, and perhaps we should trust them. Your decisions, I mean.
Must admit I'm a bit new to, all the rest of you have spent a lot longer down here than me, but, personally, I wouldn't just outright kill them if there's no real need to. So I say we just untie them and just tell them to, if we meet them again, it will be in battle and it will be to the death for whoever.
We can always put them in the river.
Just drown them.
We didn't kill them; they killed themselves. They
We
can't
didn't
swim.
untie
It
them.
was the lack of oxygen that killed them, sir.
Yes, we left them tied up and put rocks in their pocket, and the river took them. Completely natural causes.
I guide them over to the river and be like, swim, and just nudge one in the back.
Okay. While they're still tied up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. Does he have any last words before I try to nudge him over?
When he sees what is about to happen, he says, "The wrath of Sidon will find you."
Okay, bye. And as he's saying that, I'll just push him in.
And he falls into the river, drowning to his death.
I feel sorry for you, dude, but I don't know what to do with you. Next, and I just wave over the next one. It's like war crimes, jeez.
Yeah.
As I get to the next one, I'm like, make it look less bad and just get rid of the rope and just push the next one in. This one might have a chance as I push him in.
Yeah, once if you release them from their bounds, he'll be able to swim.
Wasn't the water boiling or something?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about underwater, underground. Sorry. Yeah, there's geysers.
Yeah.
So it's not boiling. It's just at certain points there'll be burning hot air pushed out from underground. But this one, he seems to be able to get out, not just by luck, but perhaps from the help of the Storm Lord.
He's the lucky one. I just pushed the next one.
Yeah, and the next one.
Was there like 3 or 4, wasn't there?
Probably. I forgot how many.
At least
Actually-
3, I think. Because one of them was the priestess of their order, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, if they liked her, I'd definitely just like slaughter them. But I feel like these people have got half a chance. I'm really torn of this.
Esther will remember this. This one won't be as doesn't have as much favor, as he accidentally goes over a geyser and he's burned to death.
I'm
Oh,
sure he
Lord.
did something that pissed off his god. It's fine.
God. Yeah, I'd just go back to Asta. And I'm like, I don't know what came over me. After being stabbed and seeing what they've done to the other people, it's just tested my my patience. I don't recommend you do that. Maybe more swift of death would be better.
Oh, seems I'm taking most of my cues from you guys anyway, so I'll try and incorporate that.
No mercy, but if there's no hope, then there's no hope. The character, I have no idea. Like, I'm like, how do I play this? Like, cause I don't know how I would react to that. But okay.
I got about 3 characters that would have just killed them on sight. Sometimes
Yeah,
those
I
are the
mean-
easy ones to play.
Yeah.
What do we do with these prisoners? Oh, their heads are already off and rolling away. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why I guess look to your ideals and your flaws and your personality traits when you're struggling.
Yeah, that sometimes helps, or even just your basic alignment.
Yeah, mine's chaotic good. So I'm like, I think that's what I wrote down.
That could work. I mean, it's still chaotic. Pretty sure chaotic people can kill prisoners, or am I thinking of the other class?
Oh, on my thing it says I'm intolerant, so I guess I would have just been pissed off at them and like, bye. I know. I'll think about what I'll do with murder now.
Mayra thinks in the corner.
Was that moral or not moral?
But after a couple of hours, one of the priests that went down to help Kira tend to Versi, he comes back up and he says, Versi has awakened, the Oracle has awakened. Come down. She would like to talk to everyone.
Right?
Well,
Wander on down.
we should see her immediately. Is she okay?
Yes. Thank the gods she has not been injured. However, perhaps that was of the order of Sidon. A direct order from Sidon. For everybody else that was brought down there has been slaughtered. And he will lead you all down. Entering her bedroom, She actually not a bedroom. When you go down, you would see she is already on the rug, with Kira standing from a distance. And she tells everyone to approach. Come closer. I have waited far too long for the chosen ones to finally arrive. She inhales the vaporous fumes that surround all of you and stares into your eyes, probing your souls with her penetrating gaze. One by one. Some time passes before she speaks. You warriors who stand here gathered will be tested. The fates have revealed 3 great tasks that must be accomplished before you are ready to set sail into the 3 seas and face the Titans. You must shape the silver fires of the Lost Forge in order to craft the tools that you will need. You must also claim the mighty weapons wielded against the Titans by the first Dragonlord. And the doom of Thalia will come.
You're meaning to say us 4, have to do what hundreds of Dragonlords took to do in the past?
It is in the prophecy. But perhaps you will have help along the way. And she approaches you, Lysander, first. Lysander, you are the doomed one. The Titans their underlings will seek you out. Perhaps you have noticed they already do, or they already have throughout your whole life. My corrupted sister, Demetria, knows more about the fate that has been laid upon you. Go to the mossy temple. Seek out Demetria. And perhaps more of your fate will be revealed.
You say she's corrupted. Is this... Why would she even give me an audience?
Perhaps she is waiting for you. I do not know if she will be able to... she is willing to help you.
Is this why my parents are dead? Is this why I grew up here?
I believe it may be part of it. However, I cannot explain every all everything that has happened. Only that it will play a large part in what the prophecy has shown me.
All right. Doomed, but well, if we don't try, we lose. So we must.
She then goes to Lume. Lume, you are the haunted one. Your past, it is a different one to what anyone else thinks it is. However, the sister, Demetria, that I mentioned before, I believe she has one of your lost family artifacts with her in the Mossy Temple in the old woods.
So I'm not mad.
No.
Years ago I come to you asking for this help, and you could give me nothing. Why now?
Fate works in mysterious ways. The timing of when prophecies are revealed and when they are finally achieved cannot be changed.
Where is my family?
Finding that lost artifact will perhaps lead you on a path to finding your family.
Lume looks bitter and just sort of lowers her gaze to the floor.
She then goes to Mera. Mera, you are cursed.
Yep.
You must speak with Daemon, an ancient lich who guards the necropolis at Telemach. He will be able to tell you more about the nature of your curse, perhaps allowing you to lift it.
And you just see her face like beam with like happiness, like overjoyed at this news.
And then, oh, sorry.
I was going to say, was it out of character? Is it Dama or Damo?
I'll type it in, Daemon.
Okay. And would I have heard of this name before?
Yeah, I think it's pretty common, or a lot of people would at least know about the necropolis at Telemok. Um, Nobody visits there anymore because of this ancient. You are gifted, Esther. Like me, your ancestry comes from Sidon.
Really,
Your
sorry.
uh, your grandmother and mine are the same. And she hands over a locket. This belonged to her. Perhaps this will aid you on your journey.
Are you sure you wish to give it to me? I mean, I'm assuming you knew, well, I mean, you knew her more than me. I'm not very familiar with anyone down here, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid I did not know her at all. Sidon murdered her just before she gave birth to your mother.
I see. I wasn't aware. I was also all very strange down here. Limited information, but it is very. I'm sure this will make sense in time.
In any case, keep it close. More clues may be revealed with that in hand.
Right?
She then says, "Now, I'm afraid I am still quite weak. I must rest."
Percy, sorry, but why did those men from Sidon come here? Why did they do this to you?
My father knew that I had searched you out, and somehow he knows, or he knew that you were coming.
Now that we have been, they won't come back.
Yes, we would. Hate to leave you undefended, so to speak. I mean, what if he tries it again?
I do not think he will come back, for I have given you the prophecy. I believe his ire is focused on wherever you will go.
Wow.
You go first.
They're a moving target. I mean, that might be good for us. At least it keeps the danger off of our innocence.
And we did leave his followers alive. Perhaps that will gain us some small modicum of mercy.
Well, say if some followers tripped in the river, how do you reckon the others would react? Or your father would react? And I'm just like looking so sheepish.
I cannot answer that, Chosen One.
Tripped? What do you mean tripped? They were tied.
Yes, they were tied, and I just like looked out the ground and like start. Maybe we should head upstairs.
safe, Oracle.
Yes, stay safe. It's been an honor to meet you. I didn't expect to find family down here, that's for sure.
I do not think this is the last time we will see each other.
That is good. Give her a sort of short bow and I'll follow the others out.
Yeah, Kira will also go up with you. So give me a second. I'll type. Do you need me to type all those instructions that she gave?
I wrote it all down as you're saying it.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I don't need it right away.
Okay.
Let's go up and explain some war crimes.
Yeah, let's do that.
There was a thing that came up on the screen. That I
War
missed.
crimes? Or...
That was the only thing I missed. No, not the war crimes. The Oracle had like, I don't know, it was like a little thing that came up, and I missed. I think I must have clicked it wrong.
I think it's in there, probably a handout somewhere. Yeah, it's an Appendix K, handouts under letters.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I remember that someone told me how to do that following the path thing ages ago, but I always forget how to do it. I think it's like holding down Alt or something. I can't remember now. Alt? Nope. Yeah, I can't remember how to do it.
Just click on your...
Was it right click? How do you do it?
So left click on your token and just drag around anywhere, and right click without letting go of left click over the boxes where you want to step, and then finally let go of your left click and it'll follow the path. It's really good for the DMs to know if you've walked over a triggered trap or something instead of just doing a line, like a diagonal line. You just like step and walk around obstacles and things.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Wait, can you explain how to do that again?
Left click on your token,
Yeah.
do not release that, and while you're not releasing it, move it around the screen. Then right click while your token is hovering over different squares over tiles. And when you're finally happy, let go of left click.
Thank you.
As you're going up, or when you're at the top, Kira will say, "I found these on the body of the hag Helika," and she produces a pearl worth 100 gold. And also there is a note, and the note reads, "Helika, I bid you now make good upon the oath of service that you once swore me. You know the secret ways through the forgotten sea to the cave where my daughter dwells. Find her and bring her to Praxis unharmed, and I will release you from your oath. Signed, Sidon, Lord of all."
Well, now we know how she got in.
I had the feeling it was safe to keep watch over her. below. The water flowing in and out of that cave made me nervous.
Well, she's
Oh,
been released of her service anyway. I mean, technically, right?
maybe this is something we should tell. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible with names.
Kira is the Oracle's servant, is she not?
Yes, I showed it to the Oracle.
Good.
In any case, I imagine there are many more servants on your journey. It would be
It's like
wise.
a family. Oh, sorry.
It would be wise to be careful. You go.
I say maybe it's like a family gathering. Like they meet up every 500 years or something.
By force?
And one of them gets killed at some reunion.
That's fair.
If it's alright, Kira, I would like to hold on to that pearl. It will allow me to identify certain magics.
Of course. And she hands it over. Now that you've heard the full prophecy, I imagine you have a lot of questions.
Well, what is the Lost Forge? Do you know anything of it?
The mithril forge was used by the dwarves to construct the weapons of gods in the First War. This forge can build powerful magical items or repair ancient items that no longer work. I would suggest to travel to the city. We should travel to the city of Astoria. There is a clan of dwarves that works the local copper mines there, and they're likely to know more about the forge's whereabouts.
If the forge has been lost, it is because the dwarves do not flap their gums lightly. I cannot think of any reason they would share such secrets with us.
Perhaps it's not lost. Perhaps it's infested with something and they're too scared to go into it.
No, I'm just using the words from the prophecy.
I suppose we won't know until we get there and ask them. I'm sure if they're loose-lipped, I maybe could convince them another way, but...
It's a start.
Yes, well... do one of you know the way? I definitely do not know where this... What is it, a city?
Well, we have a few different directions, and I'm not sure at all what is closer. Two of us were told to go and see this Dimitria.
Right.
We also need to deal with these aspects of the Oracle, I think, before we can progress a great deal. I'm not going to lie, Maya. Seeking out an ancient lich. That sounds terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Hurts people.
Oh,
So far as I'm aware, the terminology of lich surrounds some sort of... She turns to look at Kara, like sort of like, correct me if I'm wrong, sort of expression. Some powerful, ancients, undead sort of arcane type. But, terrifying.
Indeed. They rely on the lives of others to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, that sounds very much related to Mira's curse.
Yeah. Am you're right. That doesn't sound very nice at all. I don't know if we could go up against something like that, but I mean, not right now, but well, I suppose it's either that or there's the cave, or we could, I suppose, go ask the dwarfs. I mean, perhaps if we secure the forge, I mean, it's meant to create items and repair things. Maybe it's better if we have a foothold there, so we could come back to it later if we find anything that could be used there. I don't know. I'm not.
I would probably second that motion. Being prepared for such an encounter would be wise.
Yeah, as much as I want to get rid of this curse, I don't think I'm quite ready to face that lich, especially knowing that you guys will help. It will be great if we all got a plan, or I don't want you guys to get hurt
So
to help me.
in character, Lumi is going to like sort of roll open her map on the ground and try and see both where, quote unquote, the old woods are, this mossy temple, and also where the city of Astoria is in relation to where we are physically.
Yeah, and I'll change the scene as well. So the temple to the south, Astoria to the northwest.
Ah, okay.
I recognize this view. This is what I was staring at for the last 500 odd years.
Well, I think we need to decide on a path. I, for one, would like very much to find out more about my family. It means more to me than forging weapons or armors or relics.
I agree. I'll help wherever I can. I know some people in some libraries that might be able to. I'm sure there's a book or something that will have answers for you.
I have spent the last several years searching every corner of every village. There is no answers that can be found. Even the Oracle could give me nothing until today. So far as the world believes, until now, my family exists only in my head. And there's a sort of a shattered, like broken expression on her face.
Mara puts her arm around you. We will find them.
Lume is just gonna silently sort of like tuck her head down into your shoulder and then just sort of sob quietly. Just sort of racked, almost not so much grieving sobs as more, I think, probably more of relief after spending the last 4 years sure that she's been going insane.
Yeah.
Kira will speak again, and she will say, the other task, drinking from the horn of Belmitria.
Horn of what, sorry?
Horn of Belmitria. I believe it should be in Astoria as well. Last I heard, it is on display at the Dragon Shrine.
Why do I have this gut feeling that Sidon's little followers will get there before a weekend and do their best to remove it from my grasp?
mean, we could try our best to get there ahead of them. Looking at the map, I believe I should be able to help guide us without it so much anymore.
If I was Sidon, I would not have put my eggs in one basket and just sent some mercenaries to the Oracle's temple. I would have sent my mercenaries to every point of impact of the prophecy in total, well ahead of time, to ensure that it could not be achieved.
You're also assuming he knows the prophecy in full, though. Perhaps, like, the Oracle, he's only aware of it, perhaps she's only aware of it as she is, or not at all. I believe we have the upper hand here.
A fair assessment.
But, I mean, if two of our objectives lay in this city, perhaps we should make haste for that one first. Listening to all of your...
We have two as well in the Mossy Temple.
Yes, I was just going to say, I know you two have other things you would, I'm sure, would like nothing more than to finish at this very instant, and I think I get that. Something stirs within me, I believe, but I don't know, it's almost like rushing into something unprepared. It feels like we should have... I don't know. It seems like we need more guidance. Perhaps the horn would be a better choice with that. It's meant to grant a vision. Maybe the vision will help us.
If we seek guidance, would not Versi's sister be the one to provide it?
She did say she was also corrupted, though. I mean...
We say that, but Versi herself is the daughter of Sidon.
Yes, I suppose. I'm not sure, Corrupted, I mean, that's like, isn't it like, is there like another word for off-balanced, crazy, perhaps?
And so have I been called for 4 years now. Yet here I stand.
Well, yes, but you now know that you are not. I mean, the Oracle herself called her corrupted. So it doesn't sound like, it sounds like there is something wrong with her. I mean, well, it's up to you. I mean, I'll follow whatever path, but I don't know.
If we do go to Astoria, and we can maybe seek out information on where this forge is, there is still another journey to be had to seek out this forge.
That's true. Perhaps it's on our way to this mossy temple.
It is possible. That being said, the mossy temple leads between the city and the sea. I think perhaps if the dwarves were to carve out a forge of... was it Mithril? Yes, Mithril forge. It would be in a great mountain somewhere. Certainly not in the swamps.
Perhaps. Although there is a large river between Astoria and the general area of the temple. I mean, that would make for faster traveling. Potentially.
So the map's a little vague. Is it like all mountainous terrain between us and Astoria? Is there any roads or anything, DM?
Yeah, I think it's all just mountains. You might have to travel by the river.
Yeah, so we probably gotta have to go like that way, right? And kind of just follow the river up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of us are equipped for a straight shot through the mountains.
If we need to head south anyway, I would really like to stop at the temple first.
I suppose that makes sense. I mean, it's it's harder to tell just looking at the map, but yes, I think that'll work.
How about the others? What do you think?
Lysander is quiet through all of this. When you kind of call on him, he jumps a little. It doesn't matter where we go. I'm doomed. I can learn how I'm doomed, or I could die here. Who knows? I don't really want to meet my fate yet.
Doomed does not necessarily mean that there is death coming to you. It could mean perhaps a heavier burden.
I agree with that.
Well, I'm happy to hear that your family exists, but mine is dead. And I'd like to enjoy my life before I join them. I say we just go to Astoria.
Well, out of this, wouldn't you being the doomed, wouldn't that make you the most normal out of all of us? Because realistically, we're all doomed to die in the end. So really, she's just saying you're normal.
Did you not hear her?
I was too busy.
You find a way to break your curse. Asta is gifted. Lumine is not insane. Her family exists. Me, doomed. There is nothing positive from this. I've spent so long thinking that the Oracle has it right, and only to hear that I'm bound for death. I do not seek my fate yet.
We will all die. Every one of us. No one is immortal. I do not think the occurrence of death is something merited by a prophecy. Certainly not that you would need to seek out further answers and information on your fate. I think if there is something specific the Oracle has pointed out, it is not something anywhere near as simple as just death.
Oh, fantastic. A worse fate than death.
I mean, there might be more to it. I mean, like, you've asked her of this before and she had no information. Like, now she does. Like she says, it seems when the time is right, the information is revealed. I mean, perhaps there must be more to your story, not just doomed to die for, like, no reason, for anything like that.
I think perhaps a heavier burden than death will be put on your shoulders. A part of this prophecy specifically talked of reclaiming mighty weapons wielded by the Dragonlords. You are meant for much more than death. You are meant for what you can achieve before you reach that end. I cannot wield weapons of Dragonlords. That is ridiculous.
Regardless, I don't care to learn what fate worse than death is left for me.
Perhaps we...
Regardless of this, I just prefer if we just avoided that temple. It's something else. Anything else that we have to do first?
I mean, if you seem very focused on not wanting to go. I mean, we should just go to Astoria first, and at least it's like out of the way. I mean, the temple can wait if we decide to go back there at a later time, right? It's not going anywhere.
The temple has an artifact for my family. It is not a matter of if. I can put it off for some time, but it is very important to me, and it will not be put off for long.
I understand, but maybe we'll all feel different once we get there. I don't know. bigger cities make people feel more comfortable?
Yes. The city will probably. We just got a whole lot of bad news, or good news for some. Maybe it would be good to clear our mind while we travel.
Do a story of it.
Kira speaks up once again. The other great labor that you must achieve, taming the weapons of the Dragonlords. I know that they are located at Telemach, the necropolis in the Mithril Mountains.
The Lich guards the weapons of the Dragonlords. Well, shit.
Wait, is he actually guarding them, or did he just come across them and just kind of lay claim to them? Because if he's guarding them, perhaps he's not bad. I'm not sure.
Well, as far as I know, he has been guarding them for 5 centuries.
I know you said that lichs are generally bad, but perhaps he was given the task by the former Dragonlords then. I mean, if it was a race that is relatively short-lived, perhaps he became a lich so he could, in essence, guard them forever. Though I'm not quite sure how the sacrificing of people plays into it. Perhaps they thought it a necessity to protect the treasures.
I do hear what you're saying. I just don't know how to reply to it.
No, sorry. Again, I'm more speaking. Well, I'm so used to speaking my mind. It's just sort of freeballing it. I mean, either way, it is far to the west of Astoria anyway. We could always decide once we get there. We could perhaps head west, or we could perhaps head back south. But we should definitely go to Astoria first, regardless. Perhaps we'll clear our minds more on the road there.
As you're in the middle of your discussion, the priest from before, Proteus, he comes out and he says, "I must thank you again for saving Versi from the clutches of the Sea Hag. In truth, though, I am skeptical that any of these so-called great labors may be accomplished by mortals. But I believe that Thylea desperately needs heroes who are willing to try." And he hands over to everyone an additional potion of healing. The future of Thylea may be bleak, but there is always hope. The people of this land will look to your actions as a sign of things to come. Seek neither fame nor fortune, but show them the true meaning of heroism. Make yourselves a beacon of light as we enter this time of darkness, and go with the blessing of this temple.
Thank you, priest.
Yes. I can't speak for the others, but I'm sure we'll definitely try to do our best. This place does seem like it needs a spark of hope.
He bows and walks back inside the temple. As soon as he's out of earshot, Kira speaks up. Listen to me. Forget what Proteus said. This is your chance to win fame beyond your wildest dreams. You want fame, right? Of course you do. All great heroes want fame. Fame is the path to immortality. These great labors are only the beginning. The path ahead of you.
Sign this contract, kids.
The path ahead of you will be filled with opportunities for winning fame. If you truly manage to rise to your fate and confront the Titans, then poets will sing of your deeds for ages to come.
With all due respect, I don't give a shit. I just want my family back. I do not mean to dismiss your arts, your songs and poems, but I do not care for any of it.
Well, in either case, fame is inevitable, and it will help you on your journey.
That is your opinion.
And this is where I have to introduce the concept of fame, which is an actual mechanic.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, that won't matter to us. What's this that is paid on my character sheet?
So
I don't want fame. Fame is a mechanic. I guess I want fame.
Shit, how do I lose it?
Shit in people's beds, I hear.
Yeah, then you'll become famous for that. Too fame.
Infamous.
Yeah, that's it. It goes the other way.
Yeah, so with fame, well, actually, give me a second while I read through it.
Oh, I remember reading in the player's guide that there's like basically there's like perks at every point.
Yes. It's not. Yeah, it's not expanded that deeply, but when heroes perform great deeds, they are rewarded with fame. All great. Maybe I should have read this through this earlier. I thought it was just a simple thing. It's actually very long. Give me one more second.
You can just share it after the session. I'm sure it won't impact us for the next hour or two.
Yeah, true. I'll share it after, but it's a mechanic. Keep that in mind. But she adds on to this, going back in character. She says, I will be following you as I create an epic poem about your exploits. Before you leave this temple, before you go about on your journey, I suggest you, as a party, swear the oath of fellowship. It is a sacred oath that will bind you together in the spirit of solidarity. when one of you achieves something, all of you will share the exploits. And who knows, perhaps the magic of the oath will even protect you against some of the dangers that lie ahead.
I remember hearing a little about these oaths. They're quite powerful down here. They're more than just words, correct?
Yes. Breaking an oath can set upon a curse on you until that oath is mended.
Oh. I personally don't have any objections. I mean, when I saw Lume and Bears when I first got down here, I mean, I felt a pull towards them immediately. I mean, now that Les has joined us, I'm sure that, together we can, this fellowship must be achieved, right?
To an extent, I think I agree. However, she sort of casts her gaze towards Slice. I mean to seek out my family above everything else, and if Lysander does not wish to visit Mossy Temple, then I will need to part ways to achieve this on my own. After that, I can find you out again, but I cannot go on knowing there is a piece of my family in some lost temple with some crazed sister of a prophet. Once I have done that, I have no reservations about doing such a thing, but until then...
I'm sure a lot can happen between now and then, but I believe I understand. Right, what do we do? I've not made one before. Have any of you?
Done this before. But I guess if we do become a fellowship, we all our paths interlink. So I guess in a way I will be doomed as well as cursed. I guess we're all one big family if we all join together. But if one of us doesn't want to join, then I guess we'll have to part ways.
I mean, I'm doomed, not stupid. There's no way that any one of us could face the Titans and this future alone. I think we should.
Perhaps like you were saying, if we all take on a piece of each other, maybe it's sharing the burden, like Pedro does. He carries our burden. We carry each other's burdens.
Oh shit! Where is Pedro?
I looked at
Sure,
him.
he's around.
Yeah, he's right.
He's eating that tree over there.
I knew he was around. I just hadn't mentioned him yet. Wait, what is Pedro? The follower?
Sorry. Maybe I misused it. He carries our stuff. Our burdens, the things we don't want to carry. We become like Pedro by carrying each other's burdens, as I believe that sounds like what the oath does.
Lice, I would happily help you fight your doom. The same as I walk with Meira. We will find an answer to our curse.
We will find your family.
Yes.
Lysa's gonna, I guess, take out his sword and make a really shallow cut into his hand and then put it into the middle of the other three.
I looked worried, thinking you were going to freaking chop off my hand. I like retract my hand a bit and like, oh. I look at Lumi and like, I'll follow you wherever you go. What do you want to do?
I think we have been given this prophecy now when we are together. The first hint of my family comes when I'm together with you. And I think if we broke that, I would lose any chance I have. She would sort of reach out her hand towards Lyce and sort of offer a palm up towards his sword. She doesn't carry anything except like an eating knife of her own.
Using the not bloody hand, he will nick Lumi's hand and then put his bloodied hand kind of to touch part of it.
We don't need to make this all weird. We could have just tied hands together, and then Mayra puts her hand out to the sword.
Again, I'll nick it and then bring Lume and Ryan's hand over to yours as well.
So it's some kind of blood oath. All right then. Yeah, he'll hold out his hand for you to cut it.
And I'll do the same.
As you're cutting everyone's hand, Kira will give you the words that all of you can repeat as you complete this oath, and I'll just type it in chat, and one by one, if you want, you can do the oath.
I am Lume, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the warriors who stand at my side.
I am Lysander, and I swear upon my life and the honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the warriors who stand at my side.
I'm Mayra, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with these warriors who stand by my side, because they're awesome friends, and now we're a family. How cute.
I am Asta, and I swear upon my life and my honor that I will uphold the oath of fellowship with the warriors who stand by my side.
As you all say the words, you feel a sense of warmth coming both from inside and outside your body. The clouds in the air seem to part, and a shining light from the sun shines just on you and the party. Kira then claps. Oh, good.
She is way too chipper.
Well, perhaps we'll get used to it on the road a bit more. I believe if you're ready, we could. I should be able to lead us to the river, and we could start our journey proper.
What time of day is it?
Let's see. I forgot what time I said you arrived. I think it was like afternoon. So
Perhaps we make rest here for the night and set out fresh in the morning.
suppose I've got to try and get used to that. I still prefer the night, but as you wish.
I go over to Lysander and like take you aside and like ask you. Oh wait, hang on. Out of character. Which way did you want to go again?
I was suggesting Asteria.
I thought that's what you were planning on going, and I'll be like, maybe I know we want to go to. All roads lead to Asteria, out of character, however you pronounce it. But I think it would be beneficial for Lumi, and they'll work better with us as a team if we head to the Mossy Temple first. Do you reckon we could do that?
If we must, I just don't know if what we find there is going to be good for me. I don't want to keep her from learning about her family. I'd like a second before I step into a fate potentially worse than death. I thought maybe just at least heading to the city could stall that a little.
Yeah. I don't know how I could how I could stop your so-called doom. If I could, I would. I'm
I
already
don't think
cursed.
it's yours to stop. I mean, Asteria will tell us more about not just the temple, but also all of these things that we must do.
True, but do they have the knowledge? Would Mithras have more knowledge? And I'm just like throwing little stones into like the creek where the dead body might have been.
Yeah, maybe. Mitras, Syria, the temple. I swore an oath I will not go back on it. I just need a little bit of time.
That's fair. I guess we have the rest of our time. Rest of today. Oh, hang on, out of character. It was 8-hour long rest, right? Was it like a sleep?
Yeah, unless anybody had a certain feature that you don't have to sleep.
Yeah. I guess after we rest, we'll have to decide whether we go north or south. I just hate seeing Lumi so down, especially when we first met. Yeah. And Mayra gets a little bit like choked up about it and just like, I'll leave you two thinking and wanders back over to the group.
Are we still at the... We're just camped right near the temple, yeah?
There's a bunch of acolytes and priests that died, so there's some spare rooms.
Oh, yeah, we probably just stayed there. Wondering if I could look around and see if they had... I mean, it's a temple. I'm assuming they have things like incense or charcoal.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to I'm going to, in the morning, ask them if I can gather up and repent them for it. I'll give them about 10 gold and ask if I can borrow a brass brazier. And whilst the others are kind of still either like in the temple, I'm going to go outside the temple near the river where hopefully the bodies have washed away. I'm going to light the incense, herbs, charcoal mixed together in this brass brazier that I've brought out of the temple. And I'm going to, I guess, like, try to ask the universe, the world, the fates, what is in store for me. And basically it's going to be a ritual that just like find familiar. But I'm going to do it in hopes of inhaling some of the incense, inhaling some of the charcoal, as I've seen people from the temple do before. And in this ritual, attempt to figure out like what my future is meant to be.
Yeah. You're not using like a spell or something like that. But just trying to pray, right?
I guess I don't really know how Lysander would know about a connection to the Dragonlords. So effectively, I'm just getting him to do the spell Find Familiar.
Oh, okay.
But like, he's doing it because he needs guidance. Like he needs something that will draw him forward because he feels stuck.
Yeah. After several minutes of silent prayer and contemplation.
Oh, it's about an hour.
Oh, an hour. After 1 hour of contemplation and prayer, you suddenly hear some sort of fluttering in the wind. Something small. And looking up into the sky as the sun is shining down, there is a very tiny shadow that seems to be approaching you.
I've been out here for an hour. I guess would any of you three come by or like be watching from behind? I don't know what you three are doing in the morning.
Making tea for everyone.
My martial arts training.
Yeah, I'd probably be with her trying to figure out how to use the sword.
Lys is going to notice the sound and then I guess kind of break away from the brazier and like look up into the sky and see this shadow that is very, very, very small. And I guess over the next 5 to 10 minutes, it'll probably slowly get bigger and bigger, and Lys will first just be looking at it being like, I don't know what that is. But then later be like, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? And I'm going to call to the, like anyone that's around and be like, I don't know what I've done. I think Sidon is after us. I think I might have just found a way that Sidon could connect to us. And as it gets closer, So it's a pseudo dragon. Hang on, let me look up a. As it gets closer, where is description? It's a very small. It probably doesn't. It's probably not red brown. It's probably closer to bronze. Color. And it is flying kind of from a height, and it's kind of like dipped its wings to descend, and it is aiming straight at Lysander. It's pretty much going to land directly on his head. He will kind of stumble back and start to run, and it will land directly on his head. And trying to he brings his hands up, trying to protect his face, and it will crawl down his right arm and then crawl around his back, and he'll put his left hand behind his back, trying to get it off, and it will basically try and just constantly clamor onto Lys for you see this for a good 2 minutes while he's just screaming out the front of the temple, just thinking that this thing is going to kill him.
I'll be rushing over trying to attack it. I'll be trying to protect you, thinking it's going to hurt you.
Every time you try to hit it, you end up Lys ends up moving in a way that you end up hitting him instead of hitting the small little creature that's just crawling around his body incredibly quickly.
Still, I'm just trying to whack you. I'll just whack you. Non-lethal damage.
Stop, drop and roll.
I'll end up just cowering on the ground with my hands over my head, in a fetal position, with this creature just sitting on top of me, not really doing anything, just kind of sniffing me, looking at me, not hurting me, and I will just be whimpering and cowering in fear.
I'll say this and just start chuckling. I'll be like, "Oh my god, I thought you were going to die," and say it's okay. It's just sniffing you now.
After you've bashed him 10 times, he probably is about to
Yeah.
die.
It's going to make a little kind of bird chirping sound, nuzzling my arms, and that's when I guess I'll be kind of laying on my be laying on my back. This thing is crawled up on my chest, and I'll open my arms, and there will be this. You all can see it. It's a very miniature version of a dragon, and I am just lost for words. This thing is constantly doing little chirps, kind of not nipping, but using its mouth and its little claws to try and I guess trying to get my hands to just hold it, and nipping, nibbling at my hands, nibbling at my fingers. When it hears you laugh, Mayra, it's going to kind of look at you. It's going to turn its head and make a little purring, purr, a kind of a rasping sort of sound, but that is like a very deep vibration that I can feel because it's on top of me. Kind of like a little chuckle in a way.
I was like, shit, is it gonna fireball me? I'm like a bit wary.
I'm gonna get up and it's gonna still be on me, on my holding onto my chest, holding onto my breastplate, armor, a chainmail, whatever it is. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
Guess your prayers were answered.
It's at that point that it's going to telepathically. It's going to show me my face with that connection that it has with me now. But it's going to show me my face from its point of view. And at that point, I think I kind of realized, like, okay, this thing isn't trying to kill me.
What exactly is that? I haven't